Most people fear aging because of the wrinkles, the gray hair. A little weight around the middle, but right now, underneath your skin, something far more is happening. You are slowly losing the one tissue that lets you stand up from a chair, climb your stairs, and even carry your shopping, and be able to control your blood sugar and also catch yourself when you fall. And one day, live on your home without being helped. So, what am I talking about? This is muscle. And here is the good news. And I want you to hold on for the next few minutes as we talk about this, because this is the most important organ that you need to protect. Losing strength with age is common, but surrendering to weakness is a choice. How does it become a choice? I'm Dr. Joshua Nderitu, a family physician. I have interest in public health and cancer prevention and treatment. In this video, I want to share with you exactly what happens to your muscles exactly after 40 years. And you learn and understand what it means by the word sarcopenia for yourself, for your future, and the simple things that you can be able to do beginning today to protect yourself from these muscle loss. So because after 40, muscle loss is no longer about looking good in a mirror. Muscle longevity is your insurance. Your insurance against diabetes, your insurance against falls, your insurance against getting that belly fat. So you need to protect your muscles like your life depends on it, because it actually does. By the end of this video, I will give you a simple 30-second test you can do at home and write in your living room, and you'll be able to tell more about your future independence than the number on your scale. So stay with me, because at the end, you'll learn how to do this test. So what is the real problem with muscle loss? I'll give you a medical word first, and then we make it human. So what is sarcopenia? This is the progressive loss of muscle strength, muscle quality and quantity, and eventually the physical performance of your muscles is lost. For years, doctors focused on one question: how much muscle does this person have? But today, our thinking has changed. What matters most is not how much muscle you carry, it is what muscle that you have and what can it still do for you. So you can look reasonably fit in the mirror, but still have very poor muscle function underneath. And I've seen it among many of my clients. So I want you to invite you to change the question about your body and stop asking only how. You stop asking yourself, how much do I weigh? And start asking, what can my body still do? Can I get off the floor without help? When you sit, can you be able to pick yourself from the floor without being helped? Can you rise from a chair without using your hands? If you can be able, just holding your hands like this and be able to stand up and sit, then can you carry something heavy across the room? Can you climb 3 stairs at a time? Can you balance on one leg while you brush your teeth? These are exercises that you can do on a daily basis. So these are not fitness questions. These are questions about your functional reserve, the strength you draw on when life tests you, because life will definitely test you. So why does muscle decline? So how does this happen? Why do strong people progressively become weak? This isn't one feeling. There are several. All of them working together to reduce your muscle strength and also your muscle capacity. One, less physical activity as life goes by. Less exposure to real life resistance. Changes in nerves that fire your muscles. Hormonal and metabolic shifts. Chronic disease and inflammation. Not enough proteins on the plate. And then periods of illness where you lie in bed for days or weeks. Sometimes when you get sick, you lie in bed, then within a very short time, you lose your muscle strength very fast. And this determines how well you recover from your illness. So let me share with you the biggest one, and it is hiding in plain sight from modern day life. We stopped asking our muscles to be strong. How do we do this? Think about your own day. We drive instead of walking. We take the lift instead of the stairs. We sit at desk. Machines lift, carry, and wash for us. We have carefully, deliberately designed effort for out of our own lives. And we call this progress, and truly it is progress. But then, if you don't intentionally work to build your muscles, then you are progressively and very fast losing your muscles because you are not calling upon it to do the tasks that you are using, that were being used by our forefathers. So this is one thing that you need to learn about your body. It is not lazy. Your body is very obedient and it adapts very beautifully whatever you repeatedly ask of it. Which means if you keep asking your body to do less, then it becomes capable progressively of doing less. That is not the failure. That's biology doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So, why is this bigger than muscle and why do we need to think about it? Why should we care about this issue? Because muscle is not decoration. It is not about your appearance. Muscle is a metabolic organ. And I've talked about this, about muscle and your glucose usage. Muscle being the organ in the body that consumes 80% of the glucose that you consume. Every kilogram of muscle that you carry is quietly and progressively and consistently working for you. It disposes of glucose, and I call the muscle the metabolic sponge. When you use your muscles, when you use your muscles, sugar in your blood gets into the muscles and it becomes used. It also supports your joints. It keeps the healthy loading forces on your bones and it helps you recover from illness. And it also guards the thing that we all want in our old age, our independence. So look at this picture. Two people, both of them are 75 years old. Both developed pneumonia in the same month. The first has spent decades walking, squatting, carrying, and lifting. The second slowly became sedentary, a little less each year. So gradually, nobody noticed. They enter the same illness, but they do not enter it with the same body. One has reserve to spend, the other has nothing left to draw on. So the muscle you build today is the reserve that you will be paid on tomorrow. So keep your muscles active. Now, what is the solution? Said your muscles are signal. So how do you fight back of this consistent muscle loss? Here is the beautiful truth that we need to realize. Muscles are always listening. They just need a reason to stay. That reason is the signal, and the signal is resistance training. And no, you don't need a gym membership. Your muscle fibers cannot tell whether the challenge came from a tiny machine or a dumbbell or a resistant bar or even your own body. They only understand one language: tension and challenge. So you keep the tension, you challenge your muscles. So start with this simple movement like this one. Squatting to a chair and standing back up. You can do wall push-ups. You can do inclined push-ups. You can do rows. You can do hip hinges. You can step up on a staircase. You can do the calf raises. You can do the work in your house, carrying your shopping, all with intention. Then gently progress as you continue. So this is the principle that changes everything. When an exercise becomes easy, it stops sending the growth signal. So you need to add more weight, and that is what I call the exercise radar. I've talked about the exercise radar in a previous video. If you have not looked at it, this would be a good time to check on the video. You can do You can start with wall push-ups, then do incline push-ups, then you do floor push-ups, then you do chair squats, then you do deeper squats, then you do split squats, and then you do the rooted squats. So you progressively increase. So you don't need to begin at an advanced level. You just need to begin. And that's where it becomes very important when you make that first decision. So start where you are, not where you wish you were. Because where you wish you were, you are not there. But you are where you are. And start with where you are. Because that is what you have. So let's look at the progressive overload rule. So one gentle warning: do not do the same 20 squats every day forever. That's movement. Yes, movement is good, but it stops being good enough for your muscles to adopt. So over time, nudge just one variable upwards. A little more resistance, a few more repetitions, a deeper range of motion, an extra set, a harder variation, or more control, and then at a slower tempo. Look at what you can change to make the exercise and the resistance more. The goal is never to destroy yourself. The goal is to keep your body healthy, slightly better every day, and make it adapt than this month than it was last month. So you keep building yourself. Now, let's talk about protein, which is the building material for your muscles. As I said, from the age of 30, we use 2 to 3% of our muscle mass every year. So by the time we are getting to 60, we have lost significantly. So exercise gives your muscle instructions, but nutrition provides the building material. You can set the signal all day, but if the raw material is never available, nothing gets built. So before you think about the supplement, ask yourself 3 honest questions. Am I eating total good enough amount of total protein each day? Does each meal contain meaningful, high quality protein? And am I spreading my protein across the day? Or am I just saving it all for the supper? So, and the good news for us here in East Africa, the building blocks are already here with us. The eggs, the milk and yogurt, the omena, the fish, the chicken, the lean meat, the beans, the lentils, the soy, that they are simple, they are accessible, powerful, and also affordable. So supplements can help in certain situations, but no supplement replaces real food and real resistance training. The recovery, where the real trend is actually built. This is the part that either we all underestimate or we ignore. and that is sleep, or we don't know whether it is helpful. So sleep. And here is the biggest secret. You do not get stronger during exercise. So when you are doing those resistance training, your muscle is not actually building. It is actually tearing away. But that is where the stimulus is given. Now the recovery is where the adaptation happens. So deep sleep is associated with the powerful restorative physiology, including a major nighttime growth hormone path that helps and rebuild your muscle tissue. So when you protect your sleep, you are protecting your muscles. So comment in the video if this is new to you. Training hard on 4 hours of sleep is like planting seeds and never watering them. You will not grow any muscle. So your muscle longevity is a prescription, and only you who can write the prescription for yourself. So this is the prescription. 6 times, 6 lines. Write them down, or better, screenshot them and put them where you can see them. Strength train at least twice per week. Train for the major movement patterns: push, pull, squat, hinge, carry, step. Progress gradually, one small variable at a time. Then eat adequate proteins and good total nutrition, because food, it is the complete meal. Then keep moving throughout the day. Do not allow yourself to sit for more than an hour. Protect your sleep and recovery, because this is where you build. So if you are in your 60s, your 70s, or beyond, add one more: balance training. It could be the difference between a stable and a fracture. And many elderly people actually they succumb because of a fracture that happened. One day, you may never care about how your arm looks, but I promise you, you will care whether you can get off the toilet without calling for help. You will care whether you can lift your grandchild when she lands to you, or you stumble and fall together. You will care whether you can climb your own stairs, or you can be able to go to your bedroom, which you built upstairs, and now you are not able to access it. And or you can be able to get off the floor after a fall. That is where strength training after the 40s is not vanity. It is a preparation for your independence. It is keeping your muscles to help them serve you. So do not wait until you are weak to start thinking about strength. Build the reserve before you need it. If this video has spoken to you, share it with one person over 40 that you love and you want them to retain their independence. It could be a parent, it could be a sibling, it could be a friend. It might be the most important conversation that you have ever had with them this year. And if you want to keep building your health, one honest conversation at a time, subscribe to the Overall Health YouTube channel, because I want to walk this journey with you. I want to keep you informed. Remember, your body whispers before it screams. So listen early. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.